So again, if you miss out the question is, what have you learned in this topic of algebra? Okay. And Anton says new strategies to work with the letters. Nice. Isaac said he learns about terms. Yep, that's one of the key things that we did this time around with algebra. Right, it's just one thing. So again, Chet says that there are now letters. Anton says that there are he learned about new strategies to work with algebra. Isaac says that he learns about terms. If there's anything else you want to add to the question here, to the answer, just put it in the chat. We're going to move on in about 30 seconds. Okay, we are moving on. Um, so you may have guessed that, by the fact that we're talking about, we kind of trying to recap what we've learned in this topic of algebra. Okay, we're kind of almost done with the topic. All right, and for this week, you're going to have two choices for the learning task. Okay, and the first choice is, if you want to focus on your 8 skills, okay, then I would like you to complete the following. So you need to do the progress quiz. Okay, it's questions 1 to 7 from the year 8 textbook. You can also click here to download the PowerPoint. And then after that, I would like you to do the weekly profits of a school cafeteria, also from year 8 textbook. Okay, and again, here is a PowerPoint for that. If you want to extend your skills beyond year 8, what I would like you to do is I would like you to also do the weekly profits of a school cafeteria. Okay, and then I would like you to write some notes for exercise 5C from the year 10 textbook. There is a PowerPoint for that, and then I would like you to do a few questions for this exercise. Okay, so hopefully the choices are quite fair there, I think. Um, if you want to do the uh, year 8 work, you've got the things that we have learned before, and then if you want to extend your skills, you just have to write a bit of notes and then just a few questions to go through the exercise there. Okay. All right. So So I want to go through the weekly profits of a school cafeteria with you guys, because everyone is going to be doing this one here. Okay. All right. Bailey and Bailey. Okay. So now I know that it says new content on the slide here. Um, Technically, it's not really new content because we have learned this before throughout this term. Okay. So, I just want to show you that, hey, on page 344 of the Year 8 textbook, you have the chapter summary. Okay, so if you have missed any of the notes, you have this to go on with. Okay, so we've learned a few things here. We learned about the language of algebra. We learned how to do substitution and equivalence expressions. We've learned, what it means by algebraic terms. Okay, like Isaac said before. We've also learned how to add and subtract like terms. Okay, we learn how to expand brackets and then to do the reverse, which is to factorize the terms into brackets, right? And finally, um, recently we learned the index laws and the index notations. Okay, so these are, we've gone through quite a lot in this term. Okay, um, you do have the notes in your book. You do have these chapter summary notes in the textbook. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. So with the task that I would like you to do here for the weekly profit of a school cafeteria. Now there's a bit of reading. Okay, it's just going to give you the context of what we're dealing with, and you know, going back to the goal that we can model real life problems using algebra. Okay, and let's read through this. So Patricia runs the school cafeteria on behalf of the Parents Association. The cafeteria is the main income stream for the Parents Association, and at the end of the year, the profit from the cafeteria is gifted back to the school in the form of a gift from the Parents Association. This year, they're hoping to raise as much fund as possible to go towards new musical instruments. Below are the cost price and the sale price for the main 3 lunch items in the school cafeteria, okay, along with the most recent weekly sales of these items. Right, there's quite a few things there, but it's all summarized in the table on the next slide. Okay, so they are selling 3 items. Okay, so they are selling the Californian rolls. You got the sausage rolls, and you got a variety of healthy wraps. Okay, then you also got the cost price for each of the item. So the cost price, it says up here, is the item price the cafeteria pays to buy the food for the school. Okay, this is what you need to pay to get the food. Um, sorry, this is what the school needs to pay for the food. And then the sale price is the item price the cafeteria charges the student for the food. So they are selling the food for this price. Okay. And the weekly sales here just tells you, okay, for that particular week, this is how many they have sold for a particular item. Okay. So for this week, they've sold 400 Californian rolls, and they and 230 sausage rolls, and 600 healthy wraps. Okay, and the problem here, what we're trying to find out is the Parents Association is interested in using algebra to come up with the most effective way of maximizing the cafeteria weekly profits. Okay, so basically what they're saying is that, okay, um, they want to create an equation, a formula for them to work out the profit um, of the cafeteria. Okay, so it's going to require you to um, think about what's happening here and then translate it from English to math. Okay. Now, does anyone know how to calculate the profit? So have a think about it. 1 minute. How can we work out the profit of just one item for now? All right, so at the moment there's nothing in the chat yet. I'm guessing people are still thinking about it. Now I'm just going to give you a helping hand here. Actually, Ryan says take the sale and cost and subtract them um, and times by the sale. What do you guys think about what Ryan said there? I know that you guys can't see it. Um, so again, I'm read it out. So Ryan said take the sale and the cost price and subtract them and times that by the sale. Okay. So what do you guys think about that? Probably it's going to help if I actually write it on the PowerPoint here just to show you what Ryan was saying. So say for example with the Californian roll, what Ryan just said is that we take the sale price, we minus the cost price, okay? So here we have 3.5, sorry, 3.50, $3.50 minus $2.40, okay? Now, I would totally agree with Ryan because this is how we would calculate the profit for one item, right? So per item. So yeah, this is a profit for selling one roll of one Californian roll. Okay. So basically, for one Californian roll, the cafeteria is going to make about, what is that? 90 cents, right? So that's just one roll. And then what Ryan says next is to multiply this by the sales. Okay, by the sales. And the question is saying, hey, use the letter C for the number of Californian rolls. So instead of sales, I'm gonna just replace that with the letter C. Okay, and it's gonna be the same thing for, or similar thing to the sausage rolls. Okay, you take the sale price, you minus the cost, you work out what is the profit per sausage roll, and then you multiply it by, S, the number of sausage rolls. And you do it again for the wraps, okay? And then at the end, because it's asked for the weekly profit, so here um, this is going to be the total profit for the three major lunch items, right? So for all three of them, the total. So basically at the end, we're just gonna add them all together once we have got the profit and the profit per item multiplied by the sales. Okay. Now, in this question, it's not asking you to actually work out what the profit is yet. It's only asking you to use the letters to represent the cell. Okay. Then for question B, you would then substitute in the number to work out the profit. Okay, so I hope that makes sense there. All right. So I hope that this gives you sort of a start on the question. And if you have got any questions, I'm gonna I'm gonna stay here for a little while, and you can ask a few more. You can get started on the question. You can start it on this task here. All right. If you don't want to stay, you can go and start the work on your own. All right. And if you have any questions, just email me and I'll answer that. All right. Now make sure that you also do the other task. Okay. Now, is there anyone who is trying to work through the who's trying to work beyond year 8 level? Is there anyone working on exercise 5C? All right, Tom, thank you for coming. Right, right, bye, Larissa. Okay, I'll give people a bit of time here. Bye, Anton. Anyone who stays, I'm going to assume that they want to learn about exercise 5C. Anton, is exercise 5C hard? Um, hmm, it's not too hard. I would say it's about medium level. You can stay and just have a just try it out. Just have a listen, right? And then you can decide, okay, if this is too much, then you can go and do, the other task. All right. But if you feel like, oh, this is okay, then you can do this one. All right. So it's good to just have a listen, just try it out. All right. Okay. So Antoine, stay. Bye, Lachlan. Okay. So here is exercise 5C. So exercise 5C is about factorizing monic quadratic trinomials. Okay, so there's a lot of fancy words there. Okay. Um, but I'll break it down so that you understand what each of these means. Okay. So but this is about factorizing, and we have done factorizing before. Right, so our goal here is that we can factorize monic quadratic trinomials. Okay. And I think I want to skip these APK, but the key idea from here is that we think about the highest common factors, okay? The common factors of these terms here, all right? And I hope you can see that the common factor is x because both of these has x in the term. So first of all, let's talk about what it means by quadratics, okay? So quadratics are expressions that contain the squared term, okay, as the highest power. So here's some example. So x squared plus 1, right? We have seen that, similar things like that before. Or 5y squared plus 3y plus 4, okay? So you can see that in in both of these, they've got a square term, and that's the highest power, right? And so that's what it means by quadratic. Now, monic. So monic quadratic means that they have a coefficient of the square term equal to 1. Okay? So before the x squared plus 1, that is a monic quadratic because the coefficients or the number in front of the square term is a 1. It doesn't have anything there because there's a 1 there. Okay, we don't have to write 1 in math, right? And here we have y squared plus 6y plus 9. Again, the coefficient of the y squared of the square term is 1. So that's what it means by monic quadratic. Now we can factorize monic quadratics of the form x squared plus bx plus c by doing 3 steps. Okay. The first step is to find all the pairs of numbers that multiply to give c, the constant term. Okay. So we want to find two numbers, m and n, that would multiply together to give c. Step number 2 is that we find out of the pairs that we found in step 1, we would find a pair that add to give b, the coefficients of x. Okay. And then finally, we're just going to factorize into x plus m brackets and then x plus n in another brackets. Okay. Now it seems like a lot here, but I'm going to show you how it works, how to use these 3 steps, and you can see that it's going to, even though there's a lot here, it's not too bad. Okay. And it's going to be it's going to get simpler the more you do it. So again, I have the 3 steps on the side here just to remind us. So the first one we have is x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, the first step is find all factor pairs of the last term. So what two numbers multiply to give plus 12? Okay, so let's think about it. What two numbers multiply to give 12? And here are some of the numbers, right? So first, 1 times 12, right? Positive 1 times positive 12. Now also remember that we can have a negative pair of numbers as well. And when we multiply two negatives, we get a positive as well. So it can also be negative 1 times negative 12. Okay? We can also have plus 2 times plus 6 or negative 2 times negative 6. Plus 3 times plus 4 or negative 3 times negative 4. All right? So we have 6 pairs here that would multiply to give plus 12. Now, out of these 6 pairs, which pair add to give you plus 7? And I hope you can see that the pair that would add together that give you plus 7 is plus 3 and plus 4. And so the last step, super easy. You just have to write x plus 3 in one bracket and then x plus 4 in another bracket. Yeah? So, and the plus 3 and the plus 4, I hope you can see that it comes from this pair here. Okay? And let's try another one. Okay, so x squared minus 10x plus 24. So again, step 1, what two numbers multiply to give plus 24? We have a few here. Okay, so first one, there's always, 1 multiply something, right? 1 multiply 24. Positive 1 multiplied by positive 24. Or negative 1 times by negative 24. 2 times positive 2 times positive 12. Negative 2 times negative 12. Positive 3 times positive 8. Negative 3 times negative 8. And plus positive 4 times positive 6. and negative 4 times negative 6. Okay, so I feel there 8 pairs in total. Which pair add to negative 10? And the one that would add to negative 10 is the negative 4 and negative 6. All right, so you can see that first step, you're going to list out all the pairs that would multiply to give the last number. And then out of those pairs, find a pair that would add to the number, the coefficient of the middle term. Okay, and finally we just have to factorize, and we just have to put x minus 6 in brackets times by x minus 4 in brackets. Okay, you can also have it the other way around. You can have it as x minus 4 brackets x minus 6, and that would be correct as well. Okay, and again we just, we basically just take it from the pairs there. It is a long process, yes, but how do you feel about it so far? Is it hard? You're still learning it? That's good. It is, I agree, it is a long process. Okay, and but remember, you're going to get faster and you're going to get better at it the more you do it. All right. And once if you get the factors, really quickly, it's just going to be, oh, that, that pair of numbers, and then just put in brackets and you get it. Okay. But yeah, I agree. Like, this is the first time you learn about it. It's going to take a while. Okay. All right. Let's try this one here. Now, this one is a bit trickier because you can see that, hey, it's not, the number in front of x squared is not a 1. Okay, what do I have to do here? Well, what I can see is that we can take the 2 out as a common factor, right? Because 2 can go into 2 here. The 2 can go into 2 here, and the 2 can also go into the 12 there. So when we take the 2 out as a common factor, right? How many times can 2 go into 2? 1. How many times can 2 go into the second 2 here? 1. And how many times can 2 go into the 12? 6 times, right? So this one is a bit harder. It just needs you to take out a common factor first. Okay? And then now we get back to something that is very similar to A and B. So what two numbers multiply to give negative 6? Okay, so now we're kind of dealing with negative number here. So to get a multiplication to give you a negative answer, you must have a negative multiplied by a positive, right? So we can have positive 1 times by negative 6, or negative 1 times by positive 6, or you can have positive 2 times negative 3, or negative 2 times positive 3. Okay? Now, out of these pairs, which one would add to negative 1? And that would be positive 2 and negative 3, right? And you can, you can test these out. You can use a calculator, just quickly add them up, okay? What's 1, what's plus 1 minus 6? What's minus 1 plus 6? What is plus 2 minus 3? What is negative 2 plus 3? Okay? And you can quickly find out that plus 2 and negative 3 would add to minus 1, negative 1. And so what we have is everything there is equal to 2. So the 2 is still outside, bracket, x plus 2 in one bracket, and x minus 3 in another pair of brackets. And then the final one here, we have x squared minus 6x plus 9. So this time we don't have to take anything out as a common factor because there is a 1 in front of the x squared, so that's fine. So we just start right away. What two numbers multiply together to give positive 9? Okay, and so we have positive 1 times positive 9, negative 1 times negative 9, positive 3 times positive 3, and negative 3 times negative 3. All right. And which pair would add to negative 6? And you can see that it's going to be the last pair, negative 3 and negative 3. And so we would have bracket x minus 3 and another bracket x minus 3. So we have two brackets of x minus 3. And hey, when we have two of the same brackets, now these two are multiplied together, so that's going to be the same as x minus 3 squared. Okay? So you can see there, it may, we all have these different problems, different versions, right? But we always do the same three steps. Okay? What two numbers multiply to give the last term, the last number? What two numbers would add to the coefficients of the middle term? And finally, we just have to put them into brackets. Okay? Three steps, always. So if you feel confident or if you want to try this out, have a go at question 2 and question 3 for exercise 5C. Okay. Now, if you want to get some help, there's some YouTube videos here that you can have a look at. Okay, and try it out yourself. All right. So I hope that helps there, Anton, and everyone else. Not a problem, right? So thank you for staying and go through this with me. Okay. So if you want to get started, and if you need any help, just let me know, email me, or I'm going to stay on WebEx to help you if you need. Okay.